What's up, everybody? Rob Ferretti here, and I have a Bobby Kahn update. But first, before we get to that, why is this up in the air again? This has been a pain in my patoot. And here, let's see if we got enough light in here. I have to do the flashlight thing. The airbags, which have been replaced twice now, this one exploded. And usually I've had slow leaks on these for a while, but this time it exploded. So this is now the third time I'm having this problem, which I'm not going to lie, it's a pretty common problem with Bentleys in the air suspension. But it just stinks to have it happen essentially pretty frequently. But let me toss you up here. It's boom, boom. All right, so Bobby Kahn just dropped another dump on the internet, or on Instagram at least, and it seems that he's having trouble turning himself in. Not that he's wrangling with the demon and the angel on his shoulder, but that he can't get anyone in the U.S. government to actually receive him, which is sort of weird, right? So you have the last-ditch, we'll call it the last-ditch effort. Guy on the FBI's most wanted list calls the White House and says, like, hey, I'm on your FBI's most wanted list. What can you do for me? Now, he did this long video, I think it's like 24 minutes on Instagram TV. I can't show you a lot of it because he curses a lot the whole time. It's like, I don't know, I mean, that's his personality. I don't know if it's hurting or helping his cause to be saying that these government officials have small winkies or like stuff like that. I think it distracts from the fact that you now have a guy who's been accused of a crime, who, most people don't know this, left the country prior to actually being accused of the crime. There was definitely like an investigation going on, but his passport was valid. He just went to Newark Airport, got on a plane, and flew to, where'd he go? Abu Dhabi. And he called the White House to let them know he was in Abu Dhabi. He's been trying to arrange his return, and unsuccessfully. He keeps citing the one attorney general in New Jersey, tried to go to another one outside of New Jersey, and he just keeps hitting dead end after dead end. Now, when he said he was going to just walk into the embassy in Abu Dhabi, they're saying they don't have the bandwidth in which to take him in. They're like, yeah, we just don't, like, we can't go pick him up, and even if he walks in, we don't have anywhere to put him. We don't have anywhere to, like, keep him, and we don't have anywhere to get him back. And he's like mind blown. Then they were going back and forth, and this is all according to him. They were even talking about just putting him on an airplane and sending him back. But the problem is his passport's expired. So, like, imagine that. Like, the guy ultimately will just fly, and obviously the FBI will be waiting at JFK when he lands for a nonstop flight. But at the end of the day, I mean, this is like catch me if you can stuff. And it sucks because I see how this all plays out. There's going to be a lot of back and forth. Eventually, and I don't know how, he's going to come back. I get the feeling that they don't really want him back. Like, if I was on the FBI's most wanted list, you think the FBI, to call it the most wanted list, you'd think they'd want to go get the guy. If he's making it really easy, that like, hey, here I am, hey, look, security camera, you see, embassy, I'm out there, hey, come get me, and they're not. It would beg the question as to why. Now, in Bobby's head, I think he's going to come back. He does acknowledge, or he's at least stating that, and I know for a fact from my case, a lot of people, when they thought he was gone, did a lot of stuff that I bet you was illegal and probably dwarfs what he did. I'm not going to pretend like he probably didn't do something wrong. I know he had some money trouble, some cash flow issues, which I think he was using new money to pay off old loans or old debt. And I don't know if that's legal. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know what the thing is. But at some point in time in doing that game, he may have broken a law. He may have issued a fake document or something like that, and that would be punishable. And I don't know if I haven't gotten to the point where whether he would admit to that or not. But what he's essentially banking on is that everybody, when he was gone, did so much more that ended up getting blamed on him, and he's got now the missing pieces of the puzzle that will point out that, like, here, I'm going to come back and I'm going to give you all these guys, and I'm going to just, like, on a pedestal, put all of this fraud against banks, against insurance companies, against other people, and against, like, people that said they didn't receive money, but they had me wire money to their girlfriend or their spouse or their Cayman account, and then they claim they didn't get it, and then they made an insurance claim. That is all equally as bad. These people that are claiming that Bobby did all this to them, I don't think a lot of them are innocent. I think a lot of them got caught up in it. That's not to say some people with cars didn't just get the raw end of the deal. I did. I had a car. Now at the end of the day, I had to give the money back that I received for the car. I had to give the title and give the car to somebody. So I get nothing, and then I had to pay legal fees. So I'm out $300,000. Good news is if he comes back and fills in the pieces of the puzzle, the guy that defrauded me effectively by lying in court and saying, I don't have any texts, I lost my phone, I don't have any messages, we never emailed, all you've got is my testimony. And that guy won my car. That guy, when Bobby comes back, I can then go after him, now that Bobby is here, and probably get some sort of fraud case. That guy may get a perjury case, or a perjury charge. He may get a fraud charge. Like, I don't know what he ends up getting, but at the end of the day, I can recover some of the money or all of the money, if not multiples of the money that were out. So fingers crossed on that. And I think that's what Bobby's counting on, that he's going to come in and Tekashi 6ix9ine. Like, look, I get it, I did some stuff, but it's not as bad as it was broadcast. It's not as bad as everybody is blaming on me. And on top of that, I've got all this evidence that nobody thought would exist, and everybody was being a scumbag opportunistically, thinking that I was gone forever. And you know what? Here you go. I'm going to hand you all these people in exchange for letting me off. And I don't know if it's going to play out that way. I just think there's too much involved. He may get a reduced sentence. He may get a slap on the wrist. But at the end of the day, he still did bounce out of the country. Whether or not they're going to hold that against him, as he left knowing that there would be charges, and it didn't make him look good to do that. But at the end of the day, he's been trying. He's surrendering on his own free will. That's going to carry a little bit of a weight. And he's looking to be a cooperating witness against a lot of other crimes that were all part of, I mean, they all have to be looked at as this encompassing mass of transactions, and he's going to be able to provide that. And I think that is a bargaining chip that, whether or not the FBI or whoever wants to pursue that, who knows, but I am definitely, when he comes back, when he faces his charges, and it's like, remember, he didn't kill anyone. This is like a blue-collar crime. White-collar? It's a collar crime. I don't remember if it's blue-collar. It's a white-collar crime. And it's just one of those things, white-collar. I'm a stockbroker. I steal money from people. It's a white-collar. It's one of those crimes that it impacted people financially, but it wasn't, I don't think it was truly intentional and fraudulent from the beginning. I think it spiraled that way. Where things started going wrong. And at some point in time, like skirting the line, and then it crossed the line. But again, I don't know any of the details. All I know is how I got ultimately involved in that by having a car that got caught up in this tornado of poop. I'm trying to censor. If I'm not going to put Bobby cursing, and I'm not going to curse because YouTube doesn't like cursing. So I won't curse anymore. I'll just censor it out. Or I'll just put the video up and do it while self-censoring and not having to edit it. So at the end of the day, I'm excited. He says he's going to turn himself in one way or another in the next 2 days. He's expecting a response from somebody. Obviously calling the White House, and I don't know, he called the White House, but he called like the President Trump comment line. Whatever. We'll see. It's a big update. He is trying to turn himself in. I ultimately think he will be stateside, let's just say within the month. I mean, I'm not doing regular updates on these, but just say he'll turn himself in Abu Dhabi. The big question mark has always been where he's been, and now we know exactly where he is, and now it's just a matter of getting him home. So once he comes back, I don't expect him to make bail. You'd think he wouldn't really be a flight risk if he's turning himself in, but whatever. He ran the first time, so what's to stop him from running the second time? We shall see. I will keep you in the loop. Big things happening on the Bobby Kahn front, and as significant updates come in. If I hear one or two things, I may post something in an Instagram story, but I'm not going to make a video about it. But the next video is going to be that he is in U.S. custody and what ends up happening. So I'm excited. I'd love for this chapter to sort of, I mean, this isn't the end of the book. This is like flipping a big chapter. This is where the story really gets juicy, because a lot of stuff went down and he's been the missing piece. Imagine ripping out a bunch of pages of the book and somebody's like, oh, hey, I got all those pages. Here's what you're missing. And I don't know where it's all going to end up, but I'm excited to watch the roller coaster. Stay tuned. I'll bring it to you. Rob Ferretti, thanks for watching. For those of you not familiar with my other company, I started a company called Adventure Drives, which combines driving and bucket list travel. It's a lot of fun. If you're interested, prices can be done per person. Don't worry if you don't have somebody to go with you. We can match you up with somebody. You can check the link in the description for adventuredrives.com and sign up today.